Lufthansa's Allegris product has finally launched, and I had the opportunity to fly in their brand new business class cabin. Was Allegris worth the wait, and how does it stack up against other premium airlines? We'll explore all of that in today's video on One More Week to Go. Hi, I'm Alvin from One More Week to Go, and today I'm super excited to be taking a very special flight, trying out Lufthansa's new, highly anticipated Allegris business class product. I'll be on the very first launch route from Vancouver to Munich on board the Airbus A350, and then I'll be flying back to Vancouver in a couple of days, also on board Allegris business class. It's going to be a very fun and unique experience on board both flights, so I'm really looking forward to it. Before we get going, I do want to disclose that Lufthansa is sponsoring these flights. They invited me on board to capture some Instagram content for an upcoming promotional campaign. However, this video itself is not sponsored by Lufthansa, so I will try to be as unbiased as possible in my review. With that out of the way, let's head to the airport. Bye, Bravo. Stay home. Once at the airport, I made my way to the Lufthansa counters to get checked in. There was hardly any wait, and within a few minutes, I was on my way to the fast-track security lane. As Lufthansa is a Star Alliance airline, I could have used Air Canada's Maple Leaf Lounge, but since I wanted to catch the arrival of the inbound Lufthansa aircraft, as well as head to the gate earlier for the media event, I decided to skip the lounge today and just use one of my Visa Companion lounge passes at the Plaza Premium, which was much closer to my gate. At the time of this video, the International Plaza Premium Lounge is under renovation, so a temporary lounge area has been set up beside the Pier D atrium. It's really just a sectioned off area with tables and chairs and a small buffet section. The actual lounge should be reopened by July or August of 2024. I scouted out an empty table by the windows to wait for the arrival of the inbound Lufthansa A350 and did some plane spotting in the meantime. I noticed there were some media crew out on the apron, most likely waiting for the Lufthansa arrival as well. Here is our aircraft for the historic flight, Delta Alpha India X-Ray Tango, aircraft name Leipzig, a brand new Airbus A350 having just been delivered in April of this year. It is the first aircraft to feature Lufthansa's new Allegris seats, and this flight arriving from Munich also represents the first revenue flight featuring Allegris. Our flight today, LH477, will depart from gate D68.
Actually, it's an historic day because it's the launch of the first flight in North America with our new product, Allegris. So you will be the first passengers today experience this from North America on your flight to Munich. Actually, Allegris is the word comes from the word allegro, and it means bright and cheerful, and it symbolizes basically the happiness and the joy you will feel on your flight to Munich.
As media for the flight, I, along with a couple of others, were allowed early boarding in order to capture some footage of the cabins and seats without filming other passengers. Lufthansa's Allegris business class has probably the most unique seat layout I've seen on any airline. They offer 5 different types of seats, each with their own benefits to suit your preferences. All the seats have direct aisle access. On this Airbus A350, there are two separate business class cabins. A larger one in the front of the L2 doors with 6 rows, and a slightly smaller one just behind L2 with 5 rows. At the front of each business class cabin are the business class suites, which have higher dividers, more space, as well as a door, making these the most private and desirable seats in the cabin. Then spread out amongst the rest of the cabin are the privacy window seats, the extra space seats, aka the throne seats, extra long bed seats which boast a 2.2 meter long bed, as well as the classic seats, which are the standard seats that are neither close to the window nor have the long bed. I was also able to briefly check out the premium economy cabin, which also features brand new seats. It actually looks quite decent, and I would be interested to try it one day. On this flight, Lufthansa has selected for me 5K, one of the privacy window seats in the forward business class cabin. Aside from the business class suites, these privacy window seats offer the next most private space, perfect for the solo traveler who desires privacy while being able to enjoy the in-flight scenery. The seat materials felt premium and high quality. Everything looked pristine, of course, given this was only the second revenue flight of this aircraft. Waiting on the seat is a plush pillow with a nice classy design, along with the blanket hiding behind, which I'll show later. As I sat down, I instantly noticed how much legroom there is in these seats, and that's true of all the seats in the cabin. I can't even reach the footrest unless I put my seat into a very lounging position. For reference, I'm 5'7" or 170 centimeters. Once I settled in, the crew came around to pass out the pre-departure beverages, as well as a pack of nuts and cashews. Lufthansa actually offers a brand new pre-departure drink called Avionic, but I couldn't try this as it had alcohol in it. As we're already pushing back, let's dive into the seat features in more detail later. For now, let's settle in, have a drink, and enjoy the beautiful A350 engine view.
Masken aus der Kabinendecke. Ziehen Sie die Maske ganz zu sich herunter. Sollte Ihr elektronisches Gerät in den unzugänglichen Teil Ihres Sitzes fallen, bewegen Sie den Sitz nicht, sondern rufen Sie die Crew. Das Verstellen der Sitzposition kann das Gerät zerstören und Sie sind gesetzlich verpflichtet, den Leuchtzeichen, Hinweisschildern und Anweisungen der Crew Folge zu leisten.
Safety instructions also show the safety position that you should adopt in the event of an emergency landing.
Let's continue going over the rest of the seat features. Directly in front of the seat is a massive and also very high quality 4K screen. The tray table extends out from underneath the TV screen by pushing here. You can extend it out halfway, providing a very sturdy surface to put drinks or other items, while still allowing you plenty of space to access the aisle. During meal service, you can flip it open for twice the amount of surface area, and you can still push the table back halfway to reach the aisle. I absolutely love that you can do this. To the left of the seat, you'll find a reading light that you can swivel around. There's a rotatable air nozzle here that provides some airflow, adjustable with the plus and minus buttons down here. I love being able to personally control this. I used it in several instances when I was feeling a bit hot in the cabin. Next to that is a 10-inch tablet where you can control all your in-flight entertainment, lighting, seat position, and other miscellaneous features. You can also take the tablet out of the dock and use it handheld like an iPad if you prefer. We'll take a look in more detail after the meal service. Above the side table is a medium-sized storage compartment that contains the noise-canceling headphones, the new Lufthansa Allegris amenity kit, and a bottled water. Along the bottom, you'll find a variety of different charging options, including the universal power outlet, USB-C, USB-A, as well as a separate headphone jack if you wish to plug in your own equipment. The side table also has a built-in wireless charger. It took a bit of fidgeting to get the phone to line up, but once it did, it worked well. If you prefer not to go into the tablet to adjust the seat position, there are still a handful of buttons along the edge of the side table here. You also get a fancy light fixture above the side table, which is touch sensitive. Along the outer seat divider, you'll find the literature pocket. Both armrests can be lowered so they don't get in the way when you're trying to sleep in the lie flat mode. As we wrap up the seat features and get ready for the meal service, I would like to take a moment to thank you for checking out this video. Making these videos takes a lot of time, so I really appreciate you when you take time out of your busy day to watch my content. If you would like to help support my work, please take a few seconds to thumbs up this video or subscribe to my channel. You can also check out my other membership offers on YouTube or Patreon. Thank you for your support. Soon after departure, the crew came around to deliver the menus as well as a very hot towel in preparation for meal service. Let's have a look at the menu. The first course is an amuse-bouche, a light vegetarian snack served prior to the appetizer. It is offered as part of the new Allegris catering. In this case, the amuse-bouche was a rather simple dish with an olive, carrot and celery stick with some hummus. It was a little underwhelming. For drinks, I started with a ginger ale. For the appetizer, I opted for the sesame-crusted ahi tuna with green soba salad with shiso dressing, takanazuki pickle with diced yuzu, red radish slices, and coconut mousse. It was very refreshing and tasted great. You also get a seasonal salad with shaved fennel and pistachio nut, as well as a selection of bread on the side with butter. For my main, I selected the Arctic char with panko mustard crust, tomato pepper sauce, roasted butternut squash and carrot, herbed potato, and sauteed pancetta slices. I think it was a bit overcooked and thus a bit dry, but combined with the tomato pepper sauce, the taste was not bad. For dessert, the crew offered me all the options, so of course, for the purpose of the review, I got all of them. The desserts included a cheese plate, ice cream, as well as fresh fruit. Out of the three, the cheese plate was pretty good, especially the blue cheese. The ice cream was pretty frozen, so I had to wait a bit for it to melt, but once I could eat it, the taste was pretty average. And finally, fresh fruit, can't really go wrong with that. I got another drink at this point, a bitter lemon. At the end of the meal service, a small box of Dry Meister chocolates was handed out. With the first meal service complete, let's have a look at the other amenities offered on board, starting with the Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is offered by Flynet and comes in 3 tiers. €5 for slower speed suitable for messaging only, €15 for 2 hours of high-speed internet, and €25 for high-speed internet during the whole flight. A new limited edition Lufthansa amenity kit is offered, featuring a blue hardshell design with a nice Lufthansa logo embossed into it. Inside, you'll find the amenities wrapped in an Allegris-themed shopping bag, which I thought was very nice. I'll definitely be using this when I run my errands. As for the actual contents, you get an eye mask, headphone ear cup covers, mint, earplugs, dental kit, L'Occitane hand cream and lip balm, and a pair of socks. The noise-canceling headphones are provided by AKG. They were quite comfortable to wear throughout the flight, and sound quality and noise cancellation were great. One of the most prominent new features of these Allegris seats is the beautifully crisp and responsive 4K display. Just like the trend with most new cars, many of the physical buttons have been replaced with on-screen controls. This is the case with the seat controls on Lufthansa, which can be found in the Seats tab. Most notably, it has an industry-first personalized seat heating or cooling, which I found to be incredibly useful. The Lights tab allows you to control the ceiling light as well as the brightness of the ambient light. And in settings, you can control things like your screen brightness or volume. The movie and TV selection is plentiful, and even for long flights, you're sure to find enough entertainment to keep you occupied. For those like me who love the A350 tail cam, you'll be happy to know that there are a total of 5 camera feeds available to you. The classic tail cam view, nose gear, both engines, as well as a bird's eye view. The flight map is powered by FlightPath 3D and is fully interactive and looks great on the screen. The 10-inch tablet layout is set up pretty much identical to the main screen layout, just in a vertical format. Again, you can access everything in the same way. For movies, you can either choose to watch on the handheld tablet or the main screen. One weird thing I did notice was that you had to keep passing control of the screens back and forth. I couldn't figure out how to actually use both screens at the same time. For example, let's say I'm using my tablet here. My main screen will just show the time remaining on the flight. If I go and give control to my main screen, my tablet will now turn off. A bit annoying that that happens. Time for a tour of the lavatories. The lavatory was quite nicely finished with the wood paneling and soft, warm lighting. There are some nice touches including the vanity mirror and flower accents. Some amenities like eye masks are provided on the shelf. L'Occitane body lotion is provided as well. And they also have one of my favorite lav features, push pedal waist bin. By this time in the flight, the cabin lights were dimmed for people to get some rest. I did notice that throughout the flight, the cabin didn't have any actual mood lighting. It was either all dark or all white. I thought they could have added a bit more flair with the mood lighting. Back in my seat, I had some nice ambient light going on with the side table light and reading light. But as I was getting quite sleepy myself, it was probably a good time to check out the blanket and the lie-flat bed. The blanket provided by Lufthansa was quite soft and comfortable. However, I did notice it generates some static after a while. I put my seat into the lie-flat mode to try out the bed. Even though I don't have the extra long bed seat with the 2.2 meter bed, the bed in this seat already has way more legroom than I need. It's really quite generous the amount of legroom that they provide. After a gorgeous sunrise while flying over some frozen landscapes, we still had about 5 hours to go in our flight. After getting some work done, I went to the galley to check out what snacks they had to offer. I brought some back to my seat, ordered myself a ginger ale, and put on a movie while lounging in the seat. After passing by some more surreal landscapes of Iceland and with about 2 hours left to go in the flight, it was time for the arrival meal. There was a choice between a cold meal of muesli with fresh berries and cheese plate, or a hot meal of scrambled eggs with bacon and mushrooms. I opted for the hot meal. The meal comes with a side of fresh fruits and your choice of bread, from which I selected a croissant. For drinks, I got an apple juice and a coffee. The scrambled eggs were not bad, but not as creamy and fluffy as they could be. The mushrooms and bacon were delicious. Overall, a very hearty breakfast prior to my arrival. The arrival into Munich was a scenic one as we flew over the multicolored fields in the countryside. So what did I think about Lufthansa's brand new Allegris business class product? Honestly, I was quite impressed by it. It's definitely a huge step up from their previous offering. I think that their hard product is quite competitive, and I'll offer a few reasons why. The privacy in the seats are great, especially in the privacy window seats. The layout of the seats and the high dividers help you give a feeling of peace and seclusion from other passengers. There is a lot, and I mean a lot, of legroom in these seats. I'm not a tall person by any means, but compared to all the other airlines that I've flown, the legroom is probably the best that I've experienced. The seat and cabin looks sleek and elegant, with high quality materials and finishes. The quality and responsiveness of both the main 4K screen and the 10-inch tablet are excellent, as is the user experience of it. One of my personal favorite features of the seat is the personalized seat heating and cooling, along with the individually adjustable air nozzles. The ability to control your own microclimate is something that I really appreciate, as I tend to feel hot at certain points throughout the flight. Although a minor complaint I have about it is that it seems like the seat cooling only stays on for about 10 minutes at a time. I wish it would just stay on unless I turned it off, but maybe that's a technical limitation. There are, however, things that could be improved. One annoying thing I found was that the two screens don't seem to interact too seamlessly with each other. You can't seem to use both at the same time without interrupting the other, as shown in the clip that I shared earlier. The catering could have been better. I would say the food on this flight was pretty average for business class standards. To be fair, this flight was out of Vancouver and not Lufthansa's main hub of Munich or Frankfurt, so I can't be too harsh here. The food was indeed much better on my return flight from Munich. Overall, Lufthansa is definitely making huge steps in the right direction with the launch of these new Allegris seats and onboard service. Travelers making the trip between North America and Europe now have another competitive premium option to choose from. I'm certainly curious to see how quickly they roll these out to their fleet, and equally excited for their new first-class product, which as of this video has yet to launch. As we pull up to our gate in Munich, that brings this exciting flight on Lufthansa Allegris to a close. Thank you for staying and watching until the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more high-quality cinematic aviation trip reports. A special thanks to my Patreon and YouTube members. If you're looking for more ways to support my work, you can check out my Patreon page or my YouTube membership offers. You can also check us out on Instagram at Onemoreweektogo or visit our website at Onemoreweektogo.com. And with that, thanks for watching, happy travels, and I'll see you in the next one.